Today is International Panic Day, a day which in all honesty seems completely unnecessary. After all, what could anyone possibly be panicked about? Let's all just take a deep breath and look around. There's no reason to feel overwhelmed. Unless, of course, you count rising inflation, crippling student loans, housing prices that require a kidney, the climate slowly cooking us alive, global conflict on every continent, artificial intelligence replacing everyone's job, billionaires flying to space while the rest of us can't afford a steak, ongoing pandemics, Amazon packages getting stolen by porch pirates, your boss emailing you at 2 in the morning, TikTok trends that signal the end of humanity, expensive home appliances spontaneously breaking, that random mole on your face you're frantically diagnosing on Reddit, and of course, let's not forget general existential dread. But sure, let's mark today as the official day for panicking, as if all the other days are pure serenity. Happy International Panic Day, and try not to spiral too hard.
Hey everybody, who's ready to laugh?
Want to know something funny?
We show you the funny.
Ready to laugh?
Get ready to laugh.
There's something funny here.
Funny show.
This is funny. You're a funny guy.
Okay, get ready to laugh.
Did something funny happen?
Yeah.
You'd never know it.
Hey, good morning. Oh, shit. That's what you missed right then. Good morning, Alicia. Are you still in the loo, or are you southern, back in the southern swamps again? We're maybe going to road trip up to the loo tomorrow. It's Juneteenth. I am off. I'm going to have my morning show, radio show, but you're back in Mobile? Okay. Boy, weren't you up there for kind of a wild ride a little bit up there. Kind of really everywhere, but the loo, man, I've been seeing so many pictures and people came together. Voices were heard. It's pretty wild. But, well, I'm glad you made it safely home. And good morning, Dennis, lurking from the YouTube, the island of YouTube. Dennis's island. The island of Dennis. Hey, Dennis was a big winner on Monday. You missed it. Dennis won $10. I know. Substantial prizes here on the morning show, but he scored $10. So good for Dennis. I don't know that we'll have any money giveaways today. I don't really have anything that hard for you, but we are going to have a smarter than a fifth grader today. So we will test your mental mettle a little bit. We're going to talk about the pettiest zodiac signs, one of which is my first wife. She wasn't really petty. She was just Italian. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff today, though. Oh, and quotes that are often truncated or misquoted. Like you hear such and such and such and such. Well, that's actually bullshit because you're only using part of the quote out of context or something, you know? We're going to clarify some of that this morning. We are here to provide mental adeptness stuff. We're here to make you sharper, smarter, faster, prettier, and pettier. Yeah, it's okay, John. It was meant to be Dennis. I have a feeling like God smiled upon him. We may have a stormy Wednesday ahead. We may not. This morning at 4:30 with the latest weather brief, it looks like they were knocking the severe chances down quite a bit, which is good news. Nobody wants tornadoes. Not to say I don't like storms. I freaking like storms. I love lightning and thunder and tornadoes. Bring all that shit on. Let's go. God-level events. But I don't want it to harm anyone. And life, limb, and property, we'd like those to stay intact. Right? So, God dang it. I got a stitch this morning. But don't worry. Stone Richards, Weather Lord, and all his meteorological information will be in later. Good morning, Troy. Troy and his doggos entertained us last night at an unfortunate catfish loss. But we're not going to blame Troy for that. We're going to blame relief pitching for that. And stranding runners. Holy crap. We stranded 9-10 runners last night. That's ineffective offense. That is not Moneyball. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's fair. I'd expect nothing but good human stuff out of the John side of things, man. I got a bug bite. I got a bug bites like crazy right now. If I'm outside for 5 minutes and I'm not moving faster than running speed, I have mosquitoes. They love me. Oh, and by the way, I had to go on my porch in my underwear this morning because I just got up. And I look out the back door, and Lane from Safe Harbor that comes and feeds neighborhood cats, and we all kind of communally take care of things, had left a bag of dry food on the back porch. But I shit you not, he'd probably been there. He comes by 2:33 in the morning. Been there a couple hours, and there was already fat, chonky, raccoony mom digging into the corner of it, getting cat food out. And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and she had this face, and I'm like, you twat. So I dumped some out in a bowl for her. But the cats came and ate it, so that's your thing to deal with now. On that day, you became a dollar millionaire and ate like a king. Yes, sir. And you had it your way. That's beautiful. It's International Sushi Day. We celebrated that a day early yesterday for my son while I was at Sam's Club. They had, I'll get you some sushi for supper since I'm not going to be there. It's International Picnic Day. I don't know if you feel like a picnic day today. Use your off spray. And boy, watch out for ticks. Check yourself for ticks. You going hiking? Check yourself for ticks. You going to walk through your friggin' yard? Check yourself for ticks. The ticks are out of the woods. They're domesticated now. They're in your friggin' yard. They're coming for your children. Ticks. Good morning, Fred. But Troy, good job last night. Enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I gotta figure out. I kind of just need to memorize your read so I can watch you guys. Because that's the shitty thing is I'm sitting there reading all about Troy and Jasmine and all the wonderful things the dogs are doing, and I don't get to watch shit because I got to look up, and then I lose my place. That's all right. That's the perils of being the announcer sometimes. It's International Picnic Day. It's also Go Fishing Day, and that I fully, wholeheartedly support. Grab your pole. You get a line, I'll get a pole, honey. You get a line and I'll get a pole, babe. You get a line and I'll get a pole. We'll go fishing at the fishing hole. Honey, baby mine. All right. Yeah, the deer ride on the ticks, or vice versa. The ticks ride on the deer. The deer on the ticks would be weird. It would really look like the deer were floating because you wouldn't see the tick. You'd just be like, why is that deer just moving across the field? Oh, he's riding on a tick. Fucking parasitic deer. It is National Splurge Day, so buy something stupid, I guess. Or go ahead and get the whipped cream on your latte. Splurge Day. It's Clean Your Aquarium Day. That should be done on a regular basis for your fish's health and for your visual acuity. It is Veterinary Appreciation Day, and boy, do we. Thank you, veterinarians. Not Veterinary Appreciation Day. Thank you. My puppets go to Cape Small Animal Clinic. Ryan and his staff treat them with stellar service. But thank you to all our vets. Thank you to the Jackson Vet Clinic that had to show up with me in the middle of the fucking night on New Year's Eve to put my boy down after he had a massive stroke. You know, things like that. Thanks to those vets. I could never be a veterinarian. I started tearing up thinking about it. I am too soft-hearted. Not that you can't be soft-hearted and do it. Oh, my God, they are all soft-hearted people. They just have some innate ability to put that away and be that person. I can do that for a lot of other things. Can't with animals, baby. You're going to have me crying in a second. Sorry, I'm a big fat baby. Good morning, Matthew Henry. Oh, my goodness. You hear that, kids? That's the sound of the Muni opening for the summer. We want to get up there and come see you. And, of course, your cohorts performing. We got to get it. We got to get up there. Maybe that's what we'll do Juneteenth tomorrow. I don't know. Depends on what's going on or even if there's a show. I don't know. I haven't looked yet. We're going to do something tomorrow. Hey, that's right, Fred. Stay bald. Ticks are easier to find. And really, it's kind of a thing for me to mull down the body hair to avoid ticks. And I'm also a fan of bugs not getting stuck in my body hair. Pretty much anything sticking in my body hair, not a fan. So trim the hedges, all right, and avoid the ticks. It is International Panic Day. Go ahead. Go ahead. Everything's on fire. And, yeah. Look, pay your taxes, show up on time, wear a clean shirt. That's kind of the Buddy Rich rules of life. abridged, misquoted perhaps, or taken out of context. We'll talk about those later. Right now it's time to get this freaking TIQ going. The technically improbable question. TIQ, 90% of households have one of these, but only 3% of those use it for its intended purpose. What is it? Was ist los? Oh no! Just in time for National Panic Day, John gets browser issues. Of course. No disco needed. Never needed. No disco needed. 90% of households have one of these. Only 3% of them use it for its intended purpose. What is this thing? This is a very broad question. We're painting with a broad brush today. I would dare say roller. Whoosh. So guess away. We've got some B-days to celebrate today. Just a smattering, just a splattering of B-days. Get ready, get your pies for the great pie fight. I kind of want to go watch Blazing Saddles, just the pie fight scene today. Not because of any other reason other than sometimes, amidst the noise and the chaos of the world, a good old-fashioned pie fight is all you need. Because at the end of it, everybody's giggling, and you can eat your stuff on your face. An ice pick, an exercise machine. No. A bidet. No. Oh, a bidet. No, but by God, I will again, and by the way, we just upgraded our bidet. At Christmas, just got it installed. But we now have the cold and warm water option. And let me tell you, if you're patient enough to let that warm water actually get to the warm status, you can enjoy a nice warm spray from the bidet. A garage, that's a good guess. It is like 17 till. I see you, Kellison. Good morning, Kellison Hines. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a good one so far. Getting a little, are you getting a little coffee with the sunrise this morning? It was kind of a pretty one, wasn't it? It was, I don't like these 10 till 6-ish sunrises because that's optimum watching time, not optimum working time. And then I'm already here, and it's too late. I didn't get my picture. You guys haven't seen a sunrise picture from me in a hot minute, probably not since time changed in freaking March. Thanks, Satan. Not a water fountain. You know that now. This water pick is really awkwardly placed, but man, it knocked the broccoli out from between my teeth like that. All right. Yeah, the Dennis won $10 on Monday. The power of the things. A bong, no. It's a vase. You water at the bottom. Okay, happy birthday to Aladdin Garris. Yes, I have a friend named Aladdin. He is not a genie, or maybe he is. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Charles McClard. Charles, we sincerely hope things are on the right track for you. Paul Parrish. Happy birthday, Paul. Hope it's a fantastic Wednesday birthday. Midweek birthdays. This is the peak of the week. You're the flag on the summit of this week. Happy birthday. Chad Huber. I was kind of hoping he'd be in by now. And this morning, when I popped into Facebook to start setting things up, he was live on his birthday. I don't think he intended to be live. I don't know. It's kind of an up-the-nose shot. But Chad, I thought might be here. Maybe I'd speak him into existence, but perhaps not. But sometimes he pops in, and he's a funny dude. And I don't know what his Facebook Live was about this morning. He had tagged some people in it, but I didn't catch it in time. A dining room table. Yeah, that's a problem in my house, but not the right answer. I need to reclaim my dining room table. And you know why we never have? And this is the God's honest truth. This crossed my mind the other day because I was like, reminiscing on family dinners. We used to have family dinners Sunday night when Mom was still around at her house. And, I like cooking for my family. But we're also 100% go, 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 go. We rarely sit down together to eat unless it's out somewhere. Right? So I need to reclaim my table because A, we'll save money eating out less as a family. And we'll just eat in as a family. And then once I clear all the stuff off of there and throw all that stuff away or get rid of it or whatever, then I've got all this new space for me to put new stuff down. Good morning, Fabio. Happy Hump Day, sir. Happy birthday also to Andy McIntyre, one hell of a guitar player and singer, one of the bluesiest dudes I've ever known. Met him back in Austin in the Emergenza days, and he and his wife were just really nice people, creative and fun, and still awesome. So happy birthday, Andy. Hope you have a kick-ass Wednesday birthday. There's Chad. That was a pocket live. Dude, I was wondering because, I tried to catch it. I think you were just ending it, and so it was like it wouldn't pop the video up, and I was like, damn it. That happened once to Tom Smith, the guy I'm in Rotary with, and he was on the phone or driving or something, and his went live, and he didn't know it. And his brother was in the background talking all kinds of shit about turkey hunting or something, and I was laughing my ass off, and he had no idea. And I'm sitting there thinking, what could be said that could force Tom into early retirement, But, yeah, Chad had a senior moment with his phone there. Well, I think I just caught it right as you were ending the live. What I thought was funny, though, because I was like, well, it's got to be intentional because he's tagged 4 people in this. So your nipple must have been awfully excited through the shirt and was just like, and I'm going to tag this person and this person to tell Chad happy birthday because he's working so hard. You have an aggressive nipple, sir. Happy birthday to you, though, by the way. You share a birthday today with country singer Blake Shelton. Yeah, Blake Shelton's 49 today. He's married to Gwen Stefani of No Diggity, No Doubt. Man, I was hot for Gwen Stefani in the 90s, but who wasn't hot for Gwen Stefani? If you were anywhere close to listening to a ska band, you were like, damn, Gwen Stefani. I like you with your big jeans. You give me nice dreams. You make me want to scream. Ooh, ooh, ooh. With your specials belt on. Anyway, Boys to Men star Nathan Morris is 54 today. Happy birthday to Nathan. Happy birthday to Dizzy Reed of Guns N' Roses fame, who is 62 today. And a junk drawer. That's a good guess. Not it. This is this one might go the distance today. Just because in my head, I don't think 90% of households have this in their home. I don't think so. Just if you'd asked me this maybe 10 years ago, maybe so. And maybe it's a dated question. Maybe that's why. So I want you to say 90% of households in 2015 have one of these. Only 3% use it for its intended purpose. What is it? China cabinet. Boy, that's a good guess. I would not have thought of that. Not it, but good guess. I like that. Smokestack Betty. Betty was live yesterday, but I didn't get to catch it. Bananas. Yes, and I am happy to see her. And happy birthday to Paul McCartney. Sir Paul McCartney is 83 today. I don't know why I saluted him like that. He's friggin' Sir Paul McCartney. Did you see Paul McCartney? You salute him or high-five him or hug him. I would hug the shit out of Paul McCartney, and I would say thank you. That's it. Though kidding, they went to Madison. I mean, I think they were no doubt from 94 on. I'm trying to remember when, 93 maybe. Because 95, 90, or 96, 97 was Tragic Kingdom. That was their breakout. But they had albums before that. Back when her brother was still in the band and all that stuff. Fred's on fire today. Look out, kids. You guys watch out, okay? We are bringing the Dumpster Fire Wednesday to you. It's time to live, laugh, love with a little bit of today's history. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery. Today is a gift. Happy Wednesday. On this date in 1892, macadamia nuts are planted in Hawaii for the first time. Non-native species said, hey, let's plant these nuts. These nuts? And they did. And now Hawaii's macadamia nuts I really don't know much about the macadamia nut or its history in Hawaii. That's something I am ignorant upon. The agricultural impact of macadamia nuts on the Hawaiian Islands. You guys can discuss that in the comments on your own time. Oh, shit. 1948, that's it. 1948, Columbia Records introduced the 33 1/3 long play RPM, 33 1/3 RPM long play vinyl record. The one that you're used to, that's a 12-inch vinyl, that was when it was introduced, 1948. Before then, you had the 78s. They're faster RPMs, like twice as fast, and thicker, sturdier records. You crack one over somebody's head, you could seriously fuck them up. Sorry. But anyway, you had 33 1/3, and then singles started dropping on 45s, right? The little 7-inch. I like vinyl. Oh, John, add one word to that. I'm going to give it to you, but I want to see if you can pin the tail on the donkey. John McGowan's guess is stupid close. He needs to add one word to that first guess at 7:51 and 37 seconds. 1977, no. No, Chad. That's not it. 1977, number one hit in the land, Fleetwood Mac and Dreams. Good song. I'm getting the cowbell ready for John to add one word to that and get the answer perfectly. 1983, Ride, Sally Ride upon your rocket ship. Sally Ride became the first woman in space. 1983. Sally Ride. They had the 16s. Oh, wow. Yeah, I never had any 16s. I've got 78s. I got a bunch of old jazz 78s. And then, of course, the 12s and the 45s. A clock radio. That's right, sir. The clock radio, clocking much dollars. Pew, pew, pew. John McGowan got it. That's the TIQ today. A clock radio. And now you see why I think 90% of households today don't necessarily have one. I've got one. It's not even plugged in. It's one that was my grandpa's that I'm fixing and cleaning up. But maybe you stole it out of a hotel. And you're like, I want to keep these Cincinnati radio presets with me as I go. 1988, Rick Astley hits number one with Together Forever. Together forever and ever to part. I don't like it. I don't like Rick Astley's songs. No offense to Rick Astley, because he's a good dude. I can go the rest of my life without hearing Together Forever or Never Gonna Give You Up. He's got other good songs, but those two songs, pass the rest of my life. Pass. Darren, you can end this war now just by covering Together Forever by Rick Astley. Bring on the apocalypse. Sorry. That was the last time I covered it. 1994, Elvis Presley's expired American Express card sells at auction for $36,000. A collector bought it. The radio part hasn't been used in a decade. Yeah, that's it, right? And that's what most people, it's just a clock that's on the nightstand somewhere in the guest room. You know. And it was on this date, 23 years ago, that legendary broadcaster and radio and baseball announcer Jack Buck passed away. Oh, baby. Jack Buck, man. I miss Jack Buck. 2010, speaking of things going for ridiculous amounts of money, John Lennon's handwritten lyrics to A Day in the Life. Literally the sheet he wrote it down on when he wrote the song. Sold for $1.2 million at an auction in New York. Isn't that crazy? $1.2 million for John Lennon's handwritten lyrics. 2018, let us say happy birthday to the Space Force. President Trump said we needed Space Force. How's it going, Space Force? Is Space Force still around? Anybody got any Space Force merchandise? Not from like the fake show, but from the actual Space Force? You know, I wonder if there were any cuts to the Space Force amongst the trimming of the fat. And in 2023, 2 years ago today, the tragic submersible Titan, operated by OceanGate Expeditions, imploded on its way down to view the wreck of the Titanic, right? Remember that? It was sad. You can say what you want about any of the politics and the money, and I don't give a shit. That's terrible. That's a terrible thing to happen. All 5 people on board, of course, including the co-founder and CEO of the company, were killed. And I believe his son was in there with him, too. Tragedy. Not like the Bee Gees song. Actual tragedy. When you grow up, Dennis says, when I grow up, I want to be in the Space Force with Fred. I think that's probably a safe choice. You know who passed up an opportunity to be the exclusive weather forecaster to the Space Force? Stone Richards, weather lord. Yeah, he said no. He said no. My meteorological desires remain with America's public. The private sector is not for me, said Stone Richards. I just noticed there's like a splatter on one of the pictures on the wall, like on the glass in the frame, for a 23-year-old certificate of appreciation from the Shriners. Back when Eddie Shriner was still around. No relation, but Eddie and Don. Eddie was like a baseball coach when I was a little kid. All right, anyway, weather forecast. Stone Richards in the heezy. Let's get in here real quick. The forecast right now. Here's the one thing I say. This was the update this morning at about 4:30 from the forecast discussion about today's uncertainty. Now, what we're initially looking at here as far as the weather forecast goes, today's high around 86, 88, I think. Probably be a little warmer, obviously humid, so sticky icky. But 20% chance of showers, and then as we get to about 3, 4 o'clock, that ramps up to a 50, 60%, 70% by evening. The major concern, of course, was severe weather threats along with that. Tornadoes, hail, fucking lightning, cats and dogs falling out of the sky, neighbors looting, all that stuff. That's about a 70%. Well, overnight last night, that has changed in the way that the storm is setting up. And without going into all the nerdy weather details, they did say this, and I quote, "The end result is that much of the area will be impacted by debris clouds and rain-cooled air and outflow this morning from a decaying MCI." Okay, I'm just kidding. This is what they said. Weather convection will fire several hours earlier than expected due to remnant outflow boundaries. They said additionally, storm coverage will be much lower due to limited air mass recovery, and many areas may stay completely dry, especially over southeast Missouri and southwest Illinois. This now appears to be the most likely outcome. But there is still a scenario, as was originally thought, of a possibility of damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes. The lower end outcome, which is the, hey, this isn't this bad, about a 70%. The higher end outcome, about a 30%. So, less of a chance of shitty weather. That's the long story short. Now, that's going to be this evening. I don't know whether or not we'll have Catfish baseball at this point. As far as I know, the game is still set to be on, but it's also a game with a whole bunch of Missouri Bulls kids coming, so we'll see what we do. Tonight, low of 70 overnight, showers, thunderstorms tapering off, and Juneteenth says, be gone with you. High of 89 tomorrow. Sunny. And sunny really through the rest of the weekend. It's just going to be the heat and the humidity that's sneaking in. We're going to see heat indexes over the weekend 105 plus, 105 plus. So be careful. Lots of water. Okay? Limit your caffeine intake, too, in this shit. Don't drink a bunch of sodas. Don't drink a bunch of fucking Monster energy drink garbage that'll make you vomit all over yourself. All right? No offense to the energy drink manufacturers, but you guys put way too much sugar in that shit. And even the low sugar stuff, you're going to give children heart attacks. Stone, I tell you, when this guy talks, he just cuts loose. All right, I gotta let you go, buddy. Yeah, we got a whole show to do. Peace. 8 o'clock on the dot, on the nose, as they say. Or is that what they say? Because quotes get misconstrued. Quotes get screwed up all the time. Do we have the right quotes? We're going to find out in a little bit. First, Brecky Bits, and a little sad moment. Ugly for Gregory Vaughn, yes, I think so. I'm kind of hoping that we move today's game to a doubleheader at the end of the week since it's Thrillville and they're across the river, but smarter heads prevail on that stuff. I just kind of keep an eye on this. Again, I'll remind you, of course, watches and warnings. Stay tuned to Real Rock on air and on our socials. If we do see anything come across, we'll let you know. Holla! Ann Burrell, the beloved chef. She had the trademark, the spiky white hair that looked like ka-chow. She looked like Jimmy Neutron if he was a lesbian chef. I don't know, she's a lesbian chef. Anyway, Ann Burrell is awesome. She's freaking, larger-than-life personality. She had the, world's worst chef show. And God bless, she was so nice to some of them people that could not cook a damn thing. But she passed away yesterday morning at her home in Brooklyn, New York. She was only 55 and was, with her family and friends and so forth. It's just a tragic thing. I hate to see good people, go early like that. It is, Troy. As we're on the food mentality, 16-time hot dog eating champ, Nathan's hot dog eating champ, Joey Chestnut, was banned last year, right? Said, no soup for you. Well, he has reportedly struck a deal with Major League Eating and is returning to the July 4th Nathan's hot dog eating competition after being banned last year. Why was he banned? Because he's Joey Chestnut, and other people were like, this sucks. 16 years, bro. Get out. You kind of find another shtick. We're going to see Joey Chestnut. 62, the autopsy showed that he was full of sand because that's what hot dogs are made of. Yeah, Dennis, Guy Fieri's kind of female counterpart. Same kind of just energy vibe and, of course, fantastic hair. Kelsey Grammer, by the way, is like the Nick Cannon of old white guys, if you didn't know this. Kelsey Grammer, the Frasier star, 70 now. He and his wife, Kate Walsh, 46, are expecting their fourth baby together. Yeah. He's up there. He's trying to keep up with what's-his-name, popping out babies in their senior years. But their fourth baby, and at 46. This is his eighth child. Number 8, ocho niños por Kelsey Grammer. All right. Those of you who, what's the best way to put us in? You probably entertained yourself a lot as a kid. You're a dork. You listen to, parody songs and Weird Al and a lot of those Dr. John and a lot of those kind of things back in the day. If you were in that zone, or if you were a radio guy, or you listen to just weird, funny nerds on the radio, and you're with me. Dr. Demento of the Dr. Demento Show has been around for 55 years. Started broadcasting in 1970. Barry Hansen, the iconic Dr. Demento. That's right, John. That's what it was. Yeah, he ate other wieners. You got to have a monogamous wiener relationship, apparently, with the eating contest. So, Dr. Demento, 55 years, has announced his retirement at age 84, which for us radio nerds gives me hope that we can do this far into the future. But that closed his 55-year broadcasting legacy. He said, quote, "Now I have a special announcement," Hansen said after playing the number one song on the show's final top 10 countdown. Quote, "I'm now 84 years old, and I've been doing this show for nearly 55 years, about 2/3 of my life. It's been a blast, but I have come to the decision that I need to hang up my top hat soon. The show you just heard is the last of my regular shows." So hats off to Dr. Demento. Thank you. Thank you for generations of entertainment. I know, Dennis. It's the end of an era. It really is. In other news, R. Kelly was rushed to the hospital yesterday after a drug overdose. By the by, he's in prison. He claims that prison officials gave him a near-lethal dosage of drugs. I bet. It wasn't me. Fish heads, yummy, yummy fish heads, eat them up, yum. Yeah, like if you're a Ren and Stimpy fan, like Dr. Demento influenced so much of that crap. I can't imagine. 84, and that should show that drugs don't really affect you that much throughout your life. No, I don't know if Dr. Demento was ever influenced by anything. He was just a funny, weird dude. Zach Starkey is Ringo's son, the previous drummer for Oasis, Zach is, and The Who. He has revealed he's working on an upcoming single that's going to feature the sons of Beatles John Lennon and Paul McCartney. So all the Beatles babies coming together. Good for them. What else? Televangelist Jimmy Swaggart has been hospitalized. He had a heart attack. He is 90. And I just thought this was interesting. Scientists at EMPA's Cellulose and Wood Materials Lab have developed luminescent wood infused with fungi that creates a potential natural lighting source for urban spaces. So picture trees that glow when hit with headlights. Right? A vegan hot dog deal. Okay. With a plant-based meats company. Yeah, that's tricky. I like my plants in plant form, and I like my meats in meat form. And if you're like, well, I don't want to eat meat, well, don't eat meat. Go eat plants. You have a celery burger, but plant meats, you're confusing me. We need to go here to St. Augustine, Florida. Beautiful place, and home of the Capybara Cafe, which allows customers to feed, pet, and snuggle capybaras for $50 for an hour. They get like 100 customers a day. Oh, you get a half hour. Doesn't matter. Half hour is a long fucking time to hang out with capybaras. I don't even need lunch. Just let me sit down and snuggle all the capybaras. Everybody else, you paid $50, they're not going to come to you. I'm sorry. The capybara are mine. Come here. All of them can snuggle. You can for $50 for a half hour. Shh. Please take me to St. Augustine and let me snuggle the capybaras. If there's anything I need in my life today, it's somebody to jet me out of Cape to St. Augustine, Florida, to go to the Capybara Cafe and snuggle on some friggin' capybaras. They're always smiling. And I don't think it's Julian. I think it's the other one, I'd assume. Let's see. Tomorrow, again, Juneteenth, federal holiday. In case you're wondering, Juneteenth celebrates the day that it remembers the day that the news made it to slaves, Negroes in Texas, that they had been emancipated. It took a couple years to get there. You know, it wasn't like the white folks were like, psst, pass it on. You know what I mean? They weren't real big on sharing the news. So it took a couple years. But in lieu, no mail, Wall Street, banks, some libraries, a couple other spots will be closed tomorrow as well. Boring. Summer officially arrives this weekend, right? First day of summer coming in Friday. It starts 10:41 p.m. technically Eastern time on Friday night, 9:41 for us here Central, and 7:41 for y'all out on the West Coast. Because he wasn't allowed to do the Nathans. Yeah, he just had to get some wieners in his mouth. Didn't care where they came from. That's dangerous, Joey. That's dangerous. And at a recent show, Luke Bryan, who's 48 years old, was sitting at his piano playing his hit song, Strip It Down. And he went, shit, I totally forgot all the words. Hey, Luke, bro, I feel you. It happens. You know how many times people got a different Tone Deaf show every week? They come down to open mic night. Last week, these were the lyrics. This week, these are the lyrics. Because I never learned them. Wrote the song. Do I remember the song I wrote? Not necessarily. You'd be amazed. That's how we come up with new verses for Hooray for BT 19-year-olds. Was just because we forgot what we said the week before. Always press record. Always press record. All right. Let's get out of this brekkie business. It's time to talk about the pettiest zodiac signs. Oh, my God, and if this offends you, you probably are a petty zodiac sign. But here's the deal. Do you know people who are grudge holders? They'll hold a grudge to the end of time. I know you are, Ron, who's not even here. He's a grudger. They aren't likely to forget those who may have snubbed them in a group chat or shorted them on some cash or neglected to wish them a happy birthday. Oh, the perpetual, "Ugh, I guess it's okay." Anyway, petty zodiacs. Here's the top 5. Number 1 on the list is the Virgos. August 23rd to September 22nd. Virgos will not let you forget any wrongs you've done, no matter how big or how minuscule that these things were. That's indelible ink. You're on their list. They're going to remember things you told them down to the exact day and time. They're going to hold you to that shit. You better remember what you tell a Virgo. Don't screw it up. Even if it was 20 years ago, that's your ass. And that's my daughter. She's a Virgo. Yep. Scorpio, you're number 2 on the list, October 23rd to November 21st. Scorpios are good at being petty without making it obvious. They don't yell, they don't throw tantrums, but they're going to hit you with that perfect clap back at just the right time. You won't see it coming. Just like Eddie Murphy's aunt's shoe. Just, let's go. So Scorpio's number 2 on the list. Number 3 is Cancer. That'd be my exes. June 21st through July 22nd. You got a birthday next week? Well, guess what? You're number 3 on the list. Cancers are the most emotional signs. That does not mean that they're soft. My son is a Cancer. They can hold a grudge like no other. If their feelings get hurt, they'll exhibit major mood swings, silent treatments, passive-aggressive behavior, maybe cheat on their spouse. Cancers, you're number 3 on the list. Number 4 on the list is Aries. The ram. The hard-headed bighorn rams. Aries, March 21st to April 19th. My sister's in Aries. Aries can be vicious due to their fiery and impulsive nature. I wonder if, Left Eye was an Aries. Somebody go look up Left Eye's birthday and figure out if she's an Aries. They are ruled by Mars, the planet of war, so they can be petty on occasion and lash out with a sharp comment or a spontaneous act of revenge. And number 5 on the list, Gemini. Gemini, you're gonna die. May 21st to June 20th. So if you had the birthday today, Chad, guess what? You're number 5 on the list, bro. Sorry. Geminis do not focus on the details as much as the other signs, but you're also not afraid to say what's on your mind or to go nipple live on Facebook. Their sharp wit and dual nature also makes them excellent at delivering subtle but cunning revenge. Oh, didn't even feel the cut, just saw the blood. They won't confront you directly. Instead, they'll take a more sneaky, passive-aggressive approach, some comments or some deftly placed gossip. Watch out. Here comes the Spider-Man. All right. Good morning, Smokestack Betty. Happy Wednesday to you. We're getting ready to talk about some misquoted quotes, and we got some smarter than a 5th grader just around the corner. Can't wait. But these are famous quotes that are constantly misused or abridged or taken out of context or truncated for convenience sake. By the way, the Golden Blend at the Groundabout right now is really good coffee. I like it a lot. Money is the root of all evil. We've all heard that, right? Well, the actual quote is, the love of money is a root of all sorts of evil. It's not money. It's the love of money. Money's all right. Money pays bills. But when you focus and put your passion into money, then it's the root of all sorts of evil, because you will go do some terrible things with your money. Put them on the glass. All right, number 2. Now is the winter of our discontent. The actual quote is, now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this son of York. I don't know why people don't quote the entire thing. I don't even quote, now is the winter of our discontent. That's too hype for me. Where's the beef? Where's the beef and cheese? Okay, let's see what else. History repeats itself. Oh, we've said this a bazillion times, right? The actual quote has 2 parts. History repeats itself, first as a tragedy, second as a farce. then as a farce. First as a tragedy, then as a farce. It's almost the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me thing, right? First as a tragedy. Damn, that's terrible that happened. Oh, and we did it again. And this time we should have known better. We've said, hey, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Come on, get with it, Tiger. You know, that's what we say about, the Captain America fist in the dirt. Oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, that phrase has been misconstrued for years. It was actually originally said as the intent is, you can't do that. That's impossible. Pulling yourself up by your bootstraps meant grabbing your bootstraps and lifting yourself into the air, defying gravity by lifting yourself. It's impossible pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. That's impossibility. So don't tell somebody, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Fail. Okay? Find a better quote. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Most of us don't even know where that quote comes from. But we've heard it, right? We've heard it on rap songs. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Meaning, I'm nice to you. Don't take advantage of me because I'll mud stomp you. Well, here's the actual full quote. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I am kind to everyone. But when someone is unkind to me, weak is not what you are going to remember about me. Ooh, icy. You know who said it? Al Capone. Yeah. And you wonder, gangster. That's the kind of quote that a gangster says. That's what that is. No, we're good. I mean, shit, put that on a t-shirt. Hook me up. It's kind of where I reside. I'm a fan of that. Not a fan of Al Capone. It's complicated. Let's see. Jack of all trades, master of none. We've heard that, right? I kind of use that myself. What do you do, Darren? I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. We say this because we're saying I can do a lot of things. I'm just not the ace on one particular thing. But the end of the quote is, but better than master of one. So in the end, it is more valuable to have more than one skill. So jack of all trades, master of none, better than master of one. So so you can see why they shorten it, right? But I kind of agree, depending on things. You know, if you need somebody to defuse a bomb and that's the one thing that this guy knows, good to have that guy along. But if you got a bunch of shit you need to knock out and you just don't know how to do it, or you're lost and confused, ask me. I got limitless dad knowledge up in this head. Need to build fence? My dad taught me that. My dad taught me so many things. My grandpa taught me so many things. I'm going to be honest. I have not been the best father at teaching my children shit to do, like building fence and things like that. We didn't grow up with the farm, right? So a lot of that has eluded them. Still a lot of things to teach, but time is running out, man. You don't have a lot of time to teach those things. Goodness, I've gotten distracted. We'll do this one and we'll move on to Smart and a fifth grader. We need to cook. The customer is always right. We hear that? The customer is always right. No matter what, the customer is always right. Frick, it's humid and hot in here. It's gross in here. The customer is always right in knowing what they want. That's the whole quote. The customer is always right in knowing what they want. They know what they want. But the other bullshit, like yelling at my checker-outer person, cashier, as they're known, that's not nice. The customer is not always right. Not always. They might be right in their head. Sometimes they're just full of shit. Cha-cha-cha. All right. Oh, no, I never transitioned it. Damn it. I had that lovely graphic this whole time. And I left it on this stupid twins. Yep. Well, it's what you get for the money. All right. It's time for Smarter Than a Fifth Grader. And today, I'm giving everyone in the class a mulligan sticker. Okay, you got 5 questions. You got to get 4 out of 5 right. But you can use a mulligan today on one question. Okay, so if you don't feel confident that you know the answer for it, I'm serious, it's warm in here, then you can use your mulligan. Okay. Customer is always wrong, Bob. Wait, the price is wrong, bitch. I don't remember it. All right. The following questions are from the standard 5th grade curriculum in a public school in our state educational system in pretty much any state in the continental U.S., except for maybe Vermont. They ask weird questions in Vermont. All right. Let's get Smarter Than a 5th Grader up here. We mentioned earlier in the week, Mattel is starting to introduce AI into some of its most popular toys, like Hot Wheels and Barbies. This next. It's coming. All right, question number 1. Answer in the comments. Keep track of your score, and if you want to use your mulligan, you can just toss in mulligan in the comments. Which type of triangle has no equal sides? A, equilateral, B, scalene, or C, isosceles? Which type of triangle has no equal sides? A, equilateral, B, scalene, or C, isosceles? Answer away. Today's answers provided by Sanford King Size Permanent Stank. Oh, man, it's just like spray paint. It's so thick. What type of triangle has no equal sides? A, equilateral, B, scalene, or C, isosceles? Dennis, you are correct. The answer is B, scalene. Now, wonky, and a wonky, and a wonky triangle. Yeah, funky triangles. It's harder to make a triangle with 3 uneven sides. You have to really think about it. All right, question number 2. What is the normal boiling point of water? A, 100 degrees, B, 179 degrees, or C, 212 degrees? What is the normal boiling point of water? Fahrenheit. 100 degrees, 179, or 212? What is the normal boiling point of water in Fahrenheit? The Bermuda Triangle. A, 100, B, 179, or C, 212, the normal boiling point of water in degrees Farfignugan, is C, 212 degrees. Correct. Good job. Good job. Super duper. All right, question number 3. What is the world's highest mountain peak? A, Mount Everest, B, K2, or C, Mount Kilimanjaro? What is the world's highest mountain peak? A, Everest, B, K2, or C, Kilimanjaro? Kilimanjaro with his song. Oh, that was really bad. I'm going to be getting the band back together for a private event. Troy says A, and you are correct, sir. It is a Mount Everest. Mount Everest. All right, question number 4. What acid can you find in lemons? A, citric, B, ascorbic, or C, acidic? A, citric, B, ascorbic, or C, acetic? What acid do you find in lemons? John says A, citric acid. B, absorbic acid. Ascorbic. You're right, John. It's A, citric acid. The Bermuda Triangle is now in New Orleans. Yep. Went west. Correct. Good job. Citric acid all day. Squirt right in your eye. And our final question, Smarter Than a 5th Grader. Which of the following changes is irreversible? Okay? Which of the following changes is irreversible? Melting wax, burning a log in a fire, or melting an ice cube? Melting wax, burning a log in a fire, or melting an ice cube. Which of the following changes is irreversible? You cannot undo. There is no Control Z on this bitch. John says mulligan. I don't know. Might as well. I mean, everybody can use their mulligan. You didn't use them yet. So there you go. Which of the following changes is irreversible? Melting wax, burning a log in a fire, or C, melting an ice cube? Yeah, unless you're like Harry Potter or somebody with magic tricks, you cannot unburn a log. Here's some carbon. Here's another log. Nope, can't do it. You can try, but you're just going to have ashy-ass hands. All right, that is your Smart and a fifth grader. It is time for warm and fuzzy shenanigans with a baby piggy. Let's go, Team Baby Pig. Burning a log. Our first warm and fuzzy is about Rambo taking down some attackers. Yeah, that's warm and fuzzy. Hell yeah, it is, because this San Antonio woman, Noemi Moreno, she was going to the bank in Leon Springs. She was walking into the bank, and all of a sudden, she was attacked. Some dudes ran up on her, followed her, tried to steal her purse. What happened? Oh, she had her mother-in-law's pit bull with her, Rambo. And these dumbasses, Rambo came in, forced the attackers to flee. Rambo said, I ain't having that. He cocked his lip up and he was like, yeah. No, but Rambo the dog ran them little sons of bitches off. You ain't stealing purses today, sucker. Good job, Rambo. Good boy. Oh, you're a good boy. WANE says firefighters recently rescued a dog from a house fire in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The blaze erupted in the home's kitchen. The firefighters found the frightened pet hiding under a bed. The dog was unharmed and reunited with its grateful owners. I'm glad they were able to save the doggo and hopefully save the house in the process. And finally, WFRV says the Eau Claire, Wisconsin police recently made a 5-year-old's birthday extra special. They took off his ankle bracelet and cut him off house arrest. No, they surprised the kid with a visit. He was having, his birthday party was police themed, right? So they had like bad boys, what you gonna do? Playing in the background, little lights on the cake, handcuffs for the kids. Anyways, a police theme party. Wrong police theme party. Noah loves law enforcement, and his dreams came true when the cops showed up at his house. We're going to check in with Noah in 20 years and see if he's still of the same opinion. The officers showed up with gifts and well wishes and lots of fun with the kids. It was awesome. Noah's mother was incredibly grateful, saying it was a day he will never forget. And we're happy for Noah. Man, to be able to do things like that, that's a cool deal, right? Just show up at a kid's birthday party, and that's all they want to do is just see you. Maybe that's all somebody wants to do today is just see you, just for you to be present. Don't do a bunch of crazy. You don't have to do crazy stuff. Just be present for somebody today. You know, maybe you'll make their warm and fuzzies. Maybe you're all that they need today. And it might be somebody you're unexpected. Maybe it's somebody that you paid a compliment to while you're standing in line. Or maybe it was somebody that, you know, served you lunch and you left them a little extra tip, or you said thank you and looked them in the eye when you did it. Or maybe it's a friend who is dealing with some shit and they need somebody to walk with. Maybe that's you today. Show up, all right? Show up and show out. Show me the money. That's it. Deep thoughts from Darren. All right, guys, have a great week. I will see you again on Friday, not the 13th, Friday the 20th, first official day of summer. But I hope you have a good week. Stay warm, stay dry, be nice humans, in the immortal words of Mickey Sharp. Let's go to St. Augustine and go to the capybara